What if I told you that right now, in the very heart of Seoul, an entire part of the city is glowing with the name of just one person? Not the name of a new movie, not the name of a political campaign, but the name of a singer. A singer whose comeback hasn't even happened yet. And yet somehow the celebration has already begun. Because just days before the long-awaited full group comeback of BTS on March 20, something beautiful, emotional, and completely unexpected has started unfolding across Seoul. And at the center of it all stands Jin. If you happen to walk through the historic streets of Gwanghwamun recently, you might feel like something special is in the air. The towering buildings, the busy intersections, the endless flow of people moving through the city. But suddenly, glowing across giant screens and digital billboards, you start seeing the same message again and again. We love Jin. Massive media displays light up the night. Fans stop in the street to take pictures. Cars pass through the intersections while huge screens flash images celebrating his return. And slowly, the entire district begins to feel less like a normal part of Seoul, and more like a stage prepared for something historic. One of the biggest fan-led projects behind this transformation was organized by a Korean fan community called Jin Fantry. Determined to celebrate Jin's return in the most meaningful way possible, they launched a large-scale media advertising project right in the heart of the city. Giant screens at the Cheonggae Hankook building and the parking tower at Cheonggae Plaza were secured to run comeback advertisements for 3 days, from March 19th to March 21. For those 3 nights, the plaza will glow with images and messages celebrating Jin. But fans didn't stop there. Another major advertisement was planned for Sejongno intersection, one of the busiest and most recognizable traffic hubs in Seoul. Thousands of people pass through that intersection every hour, which means thousands of people will see Jin's comeback being celebrated right in the center of the capital. And when Jin Fantry announced the project, they shared a message that perfectly captured the emotion behind it. We are sending our support from the center of Seoul. And fans responded instantly, because for many people, this comeback means far more than just new music. It feels like a reunion. But what makes this moment even more fascinating is that the excitement isn't coming from fans alone. Major brands that work with Jin are joining the celebration too. One of the most striking displays appeared at KT Square in Gwanghwamun. There, a massive outdoor digital screen suddenly began showing a video advertisement featuring Jin, created by the beauty brand Laneige. The screen lights up with Jin's face towering above the square. People walking nearby stop and stare. Fans gather below the screen, filming the moment on their phones. And soon, photos begin spreading across social media. Then, something small, but incredibly meaningful, happened. When a fan posted a picture of the advertisement online, the official Laneige account responded with a comment that immediately caught attention. Simply beautiful, gorgeous, proud, worldwide handsome. A phrase that every fan instantly recognized. Because worldwide handsome has become one of Jin's most iconic titles, a nickname that began as a playful introduction but slowly turned into a symbol of his global charm. And in that moment, it felt like even the brand itself was celebrating alongside the fans. Another brand joined the excitement as well. The Korean food company Dongwon F&B expanded sales of a special collaboration product created with Jin, the Dongwon Tuna Super Edition gift set. To mark the upcoming comeback, the gift set was added to Taste of Shinsegae, a curated Korean gourmet space inside the famous Shinsegae department store in Myeongdong. So now, visitors walking through downtown Seoul don't just see Jin on giant screens. They encounter him in stores, in advertisements, in brand collaborations. It's almost as if his presence is woven throughout the city itself. But perhaps the most emotional tribute came from fans once again. On a fandom platform called Kiwing, fans voted so passionately that Jin overwhelmingly took first place in the individual category. As a reward, the platform arranged a huge digital advertisement in Gwanghwamun. And when the display finally appeared, it was impossible to ignore. A massive digital signage screen broadcast a powerful message across the square. We love Jin. Behind the message stood the statue of Admiral Yi Sun-sin, one of Korea's most legendary historical heroes. The image created a stunning contrast. centuries of Korean history on one side, and modern global pop culture on the other. Yet somehow, the moment felt perfectly natural, because the love fans have for Jin has never been quiet. It has always been loud, proud, and impossible to miss. Even the official Seoul City social media account shared photos of the scene. Their caption was simple: "The BTS comeback countdown has started in Seoul." And while the city was filling with excitement, another story was quietly unfolding in the world of data. The Korea Brand Reputation Institute released its analysis of boy group individual brand rankings for March 2026. The study examined over 71 million pieces of brand data collected from 755 male idol members. The results revealed the 3 most influential boy group members this month. First place went to Park Ji-hoon. Second place was claimed by Jimin. And right behind them, in third place, was Jin. His brand reputation index reached over 3.6 million points, reflecting strong participation, media attention, communication activity, and community engagement. In simple terms, even before the comeback officially begins, Jin is already one of the most powerful names in the industry. But statistics alone can't fully explain what's happening. Because if you stand in Gwanghwamun today and look around at the glowing advertisements, the fans smiling as they take pictures, the messages appearing on giant screens, you start to realize something deeper. This isn't just about rankings, it's about connection. The connection between an artist and millions of people who have grown up listening to his voice. And now, the countdown has almost reached 0. March 20th is approaching. The live comeback broadcast is coming. Soon, the lights will turn on. The music will begin. And for the first time in a while, fans will see BTS together again. But before that moment even arrives, the streets of Seoul have already spoken. Through glowing billboards, through brand celebrations, through messages written across giant screens. One simple truth is echoing through the city. We love Jin. And when the comeback finally begins, the world may realize that this was never just anticipation. It was the beginning of something unforgettable.